Story 1. Side Dude. This story is not really scary or creepy, just an eye-opening experience of what can happen with online dating. I used to be a regular user of online dating apps when I was younger. Thankfully, I came to my senses and don't use them anymore. This happened a few years ago, and I was hoping to find someone to casually date that eventually would turn into a long-term relationship. One night, as I was at home, I was going through profiles on one of the many dating apps. I got an alert that a girl looked at my profile and sent me a like. I clicked on her profile and her name was Lisette. She had a few pictures and also had a brief description. Nothing crazy, just short and sweet. We went back and forth with sending each other messages and hit it off. She seemed intelligent, funny, and we had a lot of the same interests except for the dancing part. I cannot dance to save my life. We ended up exchanging numbers and began texting each other. We texted for close to a week, and then I asked her if she would like to meet up. She suggested a coffee spot downtown. I was like sure, since it was only a 20-minute drive. She lives and works in the downtown area. The day came, and I have to say I was nervous. I parked my truck across the street and started walking over to the coffee shop. She was waiting for me, and I have to say she was even prettier in person. She smiled at me as I walked in. We said hello to each other and we got a table to sit down at. Our conversation was like we knew each other for a while. My nerves went away and the connection between us felt genuine. It was like we've known each other for a long time. I was pretty thrilled that it was going so good. The time flew by as we laughed, talked, and shared stories. After about an hour, Lisette said I should come over to her place since she lives not even a block away. I couldn't pass it up, so I said sure. I left my truck in the parking lot and we started walking over to her place. It was less than a block away. And everyone knows no matter what city you live in, the parking downtown area sucks. She was right. Not even a 5-minute walk and we were at her condo. She was saying she just moved into the condo 3 months ago. We walked into her place and I must say it was very nice. She told me to take a seat on the couch, that she was going to change, that she would be right back. I sat down on the couch and turned on the TV and waited for her. She came out wearing some cute little shorts and a cute top. We ended up cuddling up on the couch and just talking. It had to been about an hour or so went by because I looked out into her balcony and it was dark. Then all of a sudden I hear the front door opening. I thought it was a roommate or something. She hadn't even told me she lived alone or not. Then some guy walks in and she jumps up off the couch. And then this guy stood in front of me and he looked angry. He looked a little older than me. It wouldn't take a genius to tell me who he was, and I knew right away. It was her boyfriend. I looked over at Lisette and she started crying. Then I looked back at the guy and he was yelling at me and telling me to get the F out of here. I got my shoes on and headed for the door. I can't believe what just happened. I figured Lisette was trying to use me to get back at her boyfriend or make him jealous. She must have planned for him to walk in on us. It was a really dirty move, that was for sure. I made it back to my truck and headed home. As I was walking into my house, I get a text from guess who, saying she was so sorry, that she really liked me and that she was being put in a bad spot. I didn't even text her back. I am just glad things didn't get violent with me and her boyfriend. Obviously, I unmatched Lisette and took a break from dating apps. I really still cannot believe what happened. But nowadays this is what happens when you let your guard down and trust people. I guess I should have expected it. Story 2. Why me? I am not the kind of person who dove headfirst into dating apps. I told myself it was a shallow place where people lied about stuff and post photos from 5 years ago and swiped away real conversations like candy wrappers. My friends told me to put myself out there. My mom worried I'd end up single forever. So I downloaded on my phone a dating app. At this point, I will not mention the name, but it's one of those apps that promised authenticity, not hookups. I filled out my profile and uploaded a few pictures and a brief description of me and what I was looking for in a person I date. I wasn't expecting much. I had a few conversations, but nothing came out of it, but that was until I matched with this girl named Jasmine. Our first conversation hooked me, and she asked all the right questions. And some funny ones too. Like asking me, do cinnamon rolls count as breakfast or dessert? Had I ever gone on a spontaneous road trip? She was funny without even trying. We ended up exchanging numbers and we texted late into the night. She even sent me pics and then saying, "You can see I'm real. No catfish here." We shared stories about all sorts of stuff. I caught myself checking my phone every few minutes to see if she texted me back. Then she asked me what I was doing on Friday night, that she thinks we should meet up for ice cream. As well as we texted and she did really feel like a good girl, I was like sure. The night came for Jasmine and I to meet up. I met her at an ice cream place a few minutes from my house. We talked for 2 hours straight. She was so easygoing. When it was time to leave, I gave her a kiss on the cheek and told her to text me when she got home, so I know she made it safe. She texted me about 30 minutes later saying she got home and that she had a great time. I told her I did too and that I would like to see her again. That next week I was super busy, so we did not get a chance to meet up. Jasmine kept texting me to check in. That felt sweet at first, getting good morning text and her saying hope your day goes well. I liked the attention. It had been a long time since anyone cared enough to ask. But then I started noticing things. It began with this red car with really dark tints parked across the street from my house. I brushed it off as nothing, but by the third night in a row it wasn't coincidence anymore. I told myself not to worry about it. Then one morning I got up for work and was heading out the door. As I was walking to my truck, I see a piece of paper on the front window. I usually park my truck in my garage, but that night I didn't. I opened it and it said have a great day with a smiley face. I stared at it in the driveway thinking who left this on my truck. I texted Jasmine and asking her have you been around my place. I never told her where I lived. But nowadays with the internet you can find out a lot of information that before was private. She texted back almost instantly, why do you ask? Now I am staring at the screen debating whether to say more. Finally I typed there's been this red car with dark tints outside my house, and this morning I found a note on my truck. She replied back, that was me. I just wanted to put a smile on your face. I care about you and isn't that what a man would want a woman to do? I didn't reply. Couldn't. My chest felt like it was caving in when my phone buzzed again. Her words made my skin crawl. Don't be mad. I just see you and I together forever. I barely slept that night. Every sound outside my house felt amplified. And when I glanced out at 2 a.m., the red car was parked across the street again. I texted Jasmine the next morning that this has to stop. It's crossing the line. She called me within seconds. I almost didn't answer, but I did. Her voice was calm, and then she says, why are you making this a big deal? Then she says I would never hurt you. I told her if she didn't stop, I'll call the police. Then she slowly said the police won't do anything. I haven't threatened you. I haven't touched you. Think about it, that I would make a fool out of myself. You would just look paranoid. And she hung up. The day went by and no calls or text from her. Then around midnight I got an alert. My camera on the front of my house went off. And when I opened the app to pull the camera footage up, you could see someone walking up to the front door and leave something on it. I was thinking no way this girl would still come to my house after I told her not to. I went to the front door and opened it and then saw taped to the door another note, saying we belong together. This girl is freaking crazy, I tell you. I told my coworker about it and he thought it was funny. I was like, it's not funny, this girl is crazy. After work, I decided to go to the local police station to see if I could have anything done. The officer at the desk listened to what I had to say but then said they cannot really do anything. The officer asked, has she threatened physical harm, and I was like, no, not directly. But she has been following me, leaving notes on my truck and my front door. I even showed him the video of the person leaving the note on my front door, but I agreed I could not 100% say it was her. But I knew it was. The officer had me fill out a form and then said we will file a report. If anything escalates, call us right away. That night I got another alert on my phone, and before I even opened the app to pull up the footage, I could hear banging on my front door. I already know it was this girl. I called 911 and walked to my front door and said I called the cops. You better leave. Then she yelled, open the door now. Then she says stop pretending you don't feel it too. I was like, the police are on their way. Then the banging stopped, and by the time the police arrived she was gone. I told the officer I went earlier today and made a report and then pulled up the footage this time. You could see it was her clear as day. The police said once again they would do a report and increase patrols around my block. What will it take for them to actually do something? After that night, I never got another text or ever seen Jasmine ever again. I guess she got the message to leave me alone. The scariest monsters aren't the ones in horror movies. They're the ones who know your favorite book, your favorite color, your laugh, the ones who seem perfect until you say no.